My students and I enjoy the flipped classroom model because it allows the students to take control of their learning, and it frees me up to work with those students who need a little extra guidance. Here is one example of a flipped classroom assignment where I have differentiated the instruction for different groups of students. I started by dividing my class into 3 teams. Let's take a look at the structure of the 3 different Smart Notebook pages. I started by finding this image on the Smart Exchange. Then I used the text tool and shape tools to build the student instructions. The first group would be the group that would need the most guidance. They would brainstorm together to name as many organs in the digestive system as they could. Then I would help them add any that they leave out. For individual work, students would have the labeled diagram of the digestive system on the board and have individual copies either on their devices or on a piece of paper that they would label independently. Then the teacher describes the digestive process using the diagram. For individual practice or homework, the students would research the pathway of food through the digestive system and be prepared to describe this the next day. To create the second group's page, I cloned the first page. Then I made some adjustments to the instructions. The second group would need some guidance. In this case, you provide them with a blank diagram and have them brainstorm as a group to list on the smartboard the organs in the digestive system, trying to label the diagram correctly as they go. Then they would copy the diagram to their papers or individual devices and label that diagram. They could then check their labels by revealing the answers using the magnifying glass. To hide the labels, just make them the same color as the background. Then search the gallery for the magnifying glass and put the magnifying glass on the bottom. This process would be a mixture of guided group work with some individual practice based upon the group needs. You could then have them work in partners to describe the digestive process. For homework or individual practice, the students could write a short paragraph describing the digestive process. I would clone the page again for the third group. This group needs very little guidance, and you are able to explain what you want them to do as you monitor their progress. You have a student write down their answers on the board as they list the organs in the digestive system as they brainstorm together. You then have them individually draw a diagram of the digestive system either on paper or on their devices and label it. Finally, they use a web search either on the smartboard or on their devices to search for a description of the digestive process and write a paragraph describing the process. For independent practice, you could have them add details to their diagrams that highlight all of the reactions that occurred during the digestive process. And that is how to take one assignment and differentiate it in a flipped classroom setting.